Okay, the last chapter, chapter 9, we're going to be starting with solving quadratic equations, which we've done. So we're going to first factor to solve, reviewing all our factoring. Quadratic equation because I have a power of 2. When I have this, I want to bring everything to one side, set it equal to 0, try to factor to solve. We want the side of the equal sign that makes a positive. So there is a standard form to identify a is the coefficient in front of the x squared, b is in front of the x, and c is the constant by itself with no variable. So this quadratic equation is in standard form. The a is positive, everything's over to one side, it's set equal to 0. A is positive 1, b is positive 3, c is negative 2. Here, the a is not positive, so I want to bring it over here. 2x as well. So it'll be 0 equals positive 3x squared minus 2x plus 6. Because when you bring a term over to the other side, it's the opposite sign. So a is 3, b is negative 2, c is 6. So when you have this 0 to work with and you're solving, there's only one true standard form. It is in ABC order on the side that a is positive. So here, my a is attached to the x squared. I'm going to bring the 4 over here. So a is positive 4. B is 0. There is no b. There's no x term. C is negative 4. And that's why I don't like writing with pen. Okay, I have a quadratic. It's not in standard form. The a is positive 1 over here. Bring my 5x over. So x squared plus 5x equals 0. So a is positive 1. B is positive 5. C is not there, so it's 0. Here, I want this term and this term over on this side because we would need the a to be positive. So over here, it's going to be positive 5x squared. This will be minus x plus 16 because it's positive over here. That's standard form. A equals 5, b is negative 1, c is 16. I'm going to bring my x squared over there. 0 equals positive x squared plus 2x minus 1. A is positive 1, b is 2, c is negative 1 in standard form. So let's review factoring to solve. We still need to write it in standard form, which means set it equal to 0 on the side that a is positive and factor to solve. A is positive, so minus x squared minus 4x minus 5 equals 0. Go to factor, two numbers, x, one of each sign. Two numbers that multiply to 5 that combine to negative 4. So the 5 has to be negative and 1. Set them equal to 0 to solve. Negative 1 and positive 5 are my solutions. So a is positive 2 over here, so let's add 4. Set equal to 0. Can I divide everything by 2? Yes. Pull the 2 out. Divide both sides by 2, it just goes away because there's a 0 over here. Factor to solve. Same sign, both positive. Two numbers that multiply to 2, add to 3. X equals -2 and -1 are my solutions. So I'm going to bring the 7x over here. It's going to be negative. Alright, so it's in standard form. First rule of factoring, GCF. I have a common x. So now I set equal to 0 to solve. So the solution can be 0 or 7/5. Notice I have no c. When you have no c, one of your solutions will always be 0. Over here, my a is positive. I'm going to minus 16 from both sides. Factor to solve. I have two terms. I have a difference of perfect squares. So the solutions are going to be -4 and 4. Sometimes the notation for that is both +4 and -4. It means the same thing. You can also solve quadratic equations using the quadratic formula. It's solved for x. And here's the a, b's, and c's. You don't need to memorize the formula. You can have it in front of you. You can solve quadratic equations that are factorable using this formula and that are not factorable. So here is a quadratic equation. My a is 2, b is 3, c is -5. What I do is rewrite the quadratic formula with parentheses for all the a, b's, and c's, plug it in, and just watch your signs. So the +3 is going to be a -3. This here is squared because it'll always be positive, whether b is negative or positive. So 3 squared is 9. Here, -4 times 2 times -5, you have two negative signs. So that's going to change to positive, and it's 40. Combine those, it's a perfect square of 7. So we have -3 plus or minus 7 over 4. So there's two solutions. So the positive version is here, the negative version is here. So let's solve using the quadratic formula right here. My a is 1 because it's in standard form, +1. b is -3, c is -10. I'm going to rewrite this formula. With parentheses where the a, b's, and c's are. So a's are here, and it's 1. c is just here, -10. b's are here, -3. So these two negatives will turn positive, all over +2, both the plus and the minus. So negative times negative is positive, so 3 squared is 9. That will always be positive. 2 negatives is positive. 4 times 1 times 10, 40. So that is a perfect square. So I have I have the positive, which will be 10 over 2, in the negative solution, -4 over 2, it's -2, so my solutions are 5 and -2. This was factorable, but we're just practicing using the quadratic formula. I'm going to pick up example 2 in the next video. We'll start in part 2.